Justice League is finally here after all this time, all these Marvel Avengers movies we've had, and all that crap. We're finally getting a Justice League movie. So, yeah, it's DC's turn to shine, I guess. Okay, so going into Justice League, like, if you would ask me if I was excited for this movie a couple weeks ago, I would definitely say no. But I got optimistic as time went on. And I know the reviews are pretty bad. It's like, I still wanted to see how Justice League would turn out. I was still kind of excited to see it in a way. Because I like these heroes. I wanted to see them on the big screen, duking it out with the villain, and interacting with each other. And I got that. But I'm not gonna say Justice League's a great movie either. It's definitely not great. It's got a lot of problems. We'll get to those later, but for right now, let's talk about the good. The good is the characters, really. I like the characters a lot. The actors are really, really good. Ray Fisher as Cyborg isn't it's probably the weakest link of all of them, but he's good. He is good as the character. And he actually interacts with the team well. Ezra Miller as the Flash. I liked Ezra Miller. I think he was probably the best of the newcomers. I really enjoyed his Barry Allen, and I want to see where they go with him in the future with his own movie. And Aquaman, I'm excited to see the Aquaman movie now, because Aquaman's pretty fun. And okay, so now we're gonna get to the three that are not new that we've seen before. Batman. Ben Affleck is very good once again. I really like Ben Affleck in this movie. I don't like him in this as much as I did Batman v Superman, but he is very good here, as is Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman's still the best movie in the DCU so far, so yeah, that's part of that's given to Gal Gadot, and she's still really good here. And Henry Cavill, or Cavill, sorry, Cavill. Henry Cavill as Superman. Okay. Superman is awesome in this movie. That is one thing I could say. They did Superman perfectly, and the stuff with him and the Flash is fantastic. Their banter back and forth and their like odd relationship is really great. And the way they bring back Superman, no spoilers, is really great. Is really interesting. It's not perfect as far as like the way they bring him back, but it definitely serves the story well, and I like what they did with it, and everything that Superman has to do is really cool. This is the best Superman's been since like early Christopher Reeve Superman, like Superman 2. But no, yeah, Superman is awesome in this movie. He is by far the best of the characters, I think, and I'm not a huge Superman fan. I do like Superman, but he's definitely like my least favorite of the Justice League, or maybe not. I think I never really been a huge Cyborg fan, and this movie Cyborg's actually kind of he's fun enough, but he is probably still the weakest link here. Yeah, but Superman, yeah, I've never been a huge fan of him, but in this movie he's great. I love what they did with him. And as far as the villainous plot goes, we'll get to that in a moment. But tying in with that, I'm gonna talk about the action. The action here is a lot of fun. I really like the action. It's very well directed. It's very well edited. A lot of the CGI and green screen is noticeable, but a lot of it is really good as well. That's kind of the case with the entire movie, especially the finale, where everything's just red. But no, the action is really fun here. I think the action sequence on Themyscira, I think that's how you say it, is very good, and I think the finale is a lot of fun as far as the action goes too. And the Superman, like one of the scenes with Superman is really great. And I'm not gonna spoil it, but yeah, it's really great. As far as action goes, this is a very solid movie. It's very consistent in tone, considering it had two directors technically. I really like the consistency here. The humor really works for the most part. There are some jokes that don't hit, but the humor works. And the characters are fun together. Like, they're actually legitimately fun together. But that leads into the problems with the movie, which is that they don't give enough time to develop the relationships between the characters. Some of them are really great. Like, Flash and Superman are really great. But, I don't know. I needed a little more time to really feel, like, the connection there and really root for these characters. And I really like the characters, and I want them to win, obviously. You always want your favorite characters to win. It's like, that's just kind of what's going to happen. But as far as a movie goes, they don't give a lot of time to developing this team, like, say, the Avengers did. Because the Avengers had this whole helicarrier sequence that was like 40 minutes of the movie, but it was all dedicated to building the connection of the team, and it really worked. This movie is only 2 hours, because the studio said you had to make the movie 2 hours. So, I mean, they couldn't really do anything, but they needed 30 more minutes, I think, to really get this team and get these new characters fleshed out a little more and get this connection. They are really great together. Their chemistry is really good when it's there. But it is a really rushed movie, and that's the biggest problem in Justice League, I think. And what makes it, like, what holds it back from being a great movie. It's so rushed. Like, it's over and done as, like, God. Like, you may feel like it's a little slow in the beginning, but no, like, once it gets into gear, man, it's done quick. And I don't mean that in a good way, though. Like, I don't mean, like, this is an incredibly fast-paced movie. No, this really is just rushed. Things are just skimmed over really quick, and it's just go to the next thing, go to the next thing, set this thing up, go to the next thing, go to the next thing, set this thing up. Finale. The end. That's the movie. And that's my biggest problem with it. It just felt rushed. So, yeah. That is my biggest problem with Justice League. As I said, some of the CGI doesn't work. The villain is really weak. Steppenwolf, he's not interesting at all. He's pretty bland and generic, and his plot's pretty generic, and the stakes don't feel very high. But honestly, I wasn't really there for that, but that is a problem with the movie. I was here to see the heroes, and I like the heroes, which they're the reason why I ended up liking this movie overall. But this movie definitely could have used some improvement for sure. But no, I did like Justice League. I think it is a fun movie. It is fun. I will see it again. The score by Danny Elfman is really great. Some of the song choices they got in here are really cool too. The action's fun. The characters are a lot of fun. I really like the characters in this movie. Like, they're really good. They really get them spot on when they can. But yeah, so I'm gonna give Justice League a B-. It's not a great movie by any means, but I think it is a solid superhero movie. I get why it doesn't have great reviews, because it has a lot of problems, but I do like this movie, and I want to see where the DCEU goes from here. I think it's probably the DCEU's third best movie. For me, it would go Wonder Woman, probably, I think Wonder Woman, then Man of Steel, then Justice League, then Batman v Superman, then Suicide Squad. That's my review for Justice League. I'm going to try to get a review for Wonder up soon. I want to see that. And there's a bunch of like indie movies I'm going to see. I want to see Disaster Artist, which I'm seeing probably Monday. And there's a bunch of other indie movies. But yeah, that's my review for Justice League. So, peace.